in order to do question 12, I have to, first of all, set up my number scheme. So we're going to kind of set that up and just go from there. We know that there are 3 darts and that the probability of popping the balloon for each dart changes from 20% to 30% to 40%. Because that probability changes, I'm going to have to set up 3 different number schemes. And each time, you have to use all the numbers. You can't use some numbers here at first and then some numbers later, because that changes the probability. It needs to be consistent. So every time I throw my first dart, I need to have an 80% chance of missing it and a 20% chance of popping it. So I'm just going to kind of start at 0 every time. So 0 and 1 is going to equal winning, right? If I get a 2 through 9, that's going to represent losing or missing the balloon, I guess. For the second dart, we're going to say that 0, 1, and 2 equals a win. And then 3 through 9 would represent missing it, right? Or a loss. I guess I should have wrote that one. My third attempt and final attempt, because he's only going to throw 3 darts, so it would be 0, 1, and 2, and 3 to represent win. And then 3 through 9 would be a loss, right? 4 through 9, that's right. So in that case, once I'm done, at that point, if I've lost all 3 times, I lost the game, and my result would be I lost. If I won on any one of the 3 tries, that's considered a win. I won out of one of my first 3 chances. I get 3 shots. I'm going to try to win. If I win, I win. If I don't, right? And so things we want to talk about, I don't need to skip any numbers at all, so there's no skips. I don't need to write that down, but I'll just mention it here, right? No skips, because I'm using every digit every single time. Are repeats allowed? What am I trying to say? Okay. Repeats are allowed because I can miss it twice. So if I got a miss now, I'm going to pop it once, but I don't need to worry about that because that would end my trial. So winning it would only occur one time. So I'm not even worried about that, right? But in a scenario, I can definitely have numbers to repeat themselves, and that would be okay. When is the trial finished?
When you either win or lose.
Right, the trial finishes when you win or 3 losses happen. Game over, and you would record that. And the final answer, we're going to be actually saying that if you, once you run 10 trials, we're going to record what happened on each trial, and that's going to be whether you won or lost the game. The question is, overall, is what's the proportion, what's the probability that he would win the prize, right? So I'm really going to just set up a proportion here, number of wins divided by the total number of tries, and that would give me a very rough estimate of the percentage of times that I would expect this person to win given this situation. And so if we kind of go back up on our number table, right, what you're going to see is on the very first mark in my trial, that would be a win. Got 0, that represents on my first trial, I get 0 and 1 to win. I got 0, right? So then we have 8, then we have 4, and then we have 2, right? This would be a win because I got a 2. And then 4, 4, 4. If you look down at your list down here, a 4 is in every category, is always a miss, right? And so this would be a loss overall. If we kind of keep this pattern going, I'm going to win this one, right? Let me separate. So that would be here. And then I would also win that one and win this one. This will be a loss. This would be a loss. That would be a win. How many are we going to? This would be T1, trial 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, gotta go one more. And then, oops. That one won't last very long. I'll only have one, but I'll win that one too. So T10. So actually, most of them took me 3 tries to win, but I ended up winning almost all of them, right? So we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. So I would expect Niloy, or however you say that name, to win about 70% of the time, right? So wins 7 out of 10 tries, which is equal to 70% chance of winning. Don't forget to always, make a conclusion out of that. And that's essentially how you would do that question. If you're actually writing this out in terms of an actual FRQ, I probably would take a little bit more care and write it up a little bit more formally. At least the sentence part of it. You can set up a little table for wins and losses, right? And use your digits to categorize it that way. That's totally fine, especially kind of like over in this section over here. But I would probably write this out in a little bit of a sentence to kind of describe what's going on. And I would definitely not do this. I would definitely write out, I would expect him to win about 70% of the time, right? And that would be good.